step forward in that division. Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray getting their first wins of the era in Arizona, 26-23 over the Cincinnati Bengals, and it was coached. Good to see Kyler Murray running around there. He had 10 carries for 93 yards and a touchdown there, and hey, you're a rookie head coach. You get your first win. That's a big deal no matter who the opponent is.
Yeah, well, it is. We call this game who could play the worst. And,
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it was.
Yep, Cincinnati drops to 0-5. They take on the Ravens next week. Another win for the Buffalo Bills. The defense just keeps doing its thing. I believe I picked the Titans, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall. But it was just one of those where, again, you can't trust the Titans. And Bills 14, Titans 7. So the defense, again, stepping up.
Oh, their defense is outstanding. Bills are very impressive, I'll tell you. Look out for them. They're going to be there.
Josh Allen was cleared from and a couple of touchdowns. Easily the best rushing performance on the season against that Chicago Bears. Miss Winston. It seems like every time I looked up at the television, those were the only two things happening. So credit to the Saints, who are 3-0 since Drew Brees went out. The Minnesota Vikings, a pretty clinical performance against the Giants. Vikings now 3-2 on the year. The Giants are 2-3. This was the most predictable thing I thought of the weekend, was that Kirk Cousins was going to find Adam Thielen early and often, and that's exactly what happened. The phrase "the squeaky wheel gets the grease," and that's what happened. Kirk Cousins 306, 2 touchdowns, both of those going to Thielen in the win.
Yeah, you knew that early on they were going to try to highlight both those receivers there, but he certainly got to Thielen quickly. And, this was you talk about a performance that really gave credence to the fact of what we're talking about before. Minnesota is just a football team. They're not great, but they're good, and they're solid all the way, defensively, offensively, special teams. And their opponents really have to be a good to outstanding football team to beat them. If they don't make the terrible mistakes, a lot of turnovers and whatever, it's going to be tough to beat Minnesota. So here was a good example, right?
Back in right now, and then Lamar Jackson did not prove that he would be capable of driving the Ravens 70 to 80 yards for a touchdown. The initial plan, I thought, worked, where the Steelers got the 3-and-out on defense and got the ball, and Juju Smith-Schuster just had it had it poked out of his hand there at a bad time. What did you think of that decision?
Yeah, each decision on the surface, it did look bad, because you think anytime in overtime, the way the rules are,
right,
let's get the ball and go score a touchdown. A field goal now does you no good. I'll say no good.
The first drive, right?
The first drive. But the approach of winning, as opposed to putting it in the hands of your defense, but each decision is different. Each game is different. I could see where Tomlin made this decision for exactly the reasons you're talking about. There's no way that they felt that Jackson was going to take them down the field and score.
Yep.
And they felt they'd get the ball back, and then it was in their hands with a lot less pressure on them. So, no, I can't really dispute that decision.
The New England Patriots improved to 5-0, beating the Redskins 33-7. A bit of a slow start here for the Patriots. Tom Brady had 348 yards, 3 touchdowns, another red zone interception. So we've seen that in back-to-back. Now we're outpacing that group. So as much as we talk about the offense, and with Tom Brady and the receivers and James White, the defense is performing very well right now.
You're talking about the Patriots.
The Patriots
are out distancing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're playing outstanding football, and it goes back to look at Kansas City and what I tell you earlier on in the year. Look what the Patriots did to them in the championship game. Look what is following. Detroit to the head coach at Detroit, obviously was very much aware.
Is what we all thought Reggie Bush would be when he came out of USC. Just that versatile, do everything back and at an all-pro level while doing it. Christian McCaffrey, an outstanding performance. So if you had him on your fantasy team, congratulations. But another win for the Panthers now, as Kyle Allen just continues to impress now, 3-0 as a starter.
Yeah, I love watching these two young kids play, come out of nowhere, extensively, come out of nowhere. But they're both very good prospects, and I love to see Minshew and Allen. And listen, they're only going to get. This is a huge advantage for both Jacksonville and Carolina to have the opportunity to play these young guys. The experience they're getting right now, Joe, is going to pay off for those two franchises big time coming up.
The Atlanta Falcons now 1-4 as they allow the Houston Texans to put 53 points up on the board. Deshaun Watson, 426 through the air, 5 touchdowns. And my week 1 overreaction was suggesting that Dan Quinn would be the first coach fired, so I missed on that one. But I just don't know where the Falcons go from here.
Oh, they look bad, don't they? And especially defensively, my gosh. Yeah. And
which
Quinn,
is what Dan Quinn is supposed to.
That's right. He was defensive coordinator at Seattle.
Yeah.
And that should be his strong point. They've digressed defensively, in my opinion. That's a shame.
Yeah, Falcons dropping to 1-4 and doesn't look to get much better over the course of the year. Denver 1-4, big win over the Los Angeles Chargers, 20-13. Saw the return of Melvin Gordon for the Chargers, but not enough. The Broncos get their first win of the year.
Yeah, they were due to get a win at some point. They're too good. They're not a good football team, but they're too good to go winless. And Chargers are a good football team, but they're vulnerable. They're just not as good a football team as some of the other teams in the league right now.
The Green Bay Packers win a big one on the road, improved to 4-0 on the year, take down the Cowboys 34-24. And Coach, again, one of these teams where they looked so good through the first 3 weeks. Granted, the opponents that the Cowboys were playing was nothing strong, nothing like that. But the Cowboys have now dropped their last 2 games here against the Saints and the Packers. So Cowboys may be getting exposed a bit here, just playing better competition, or is there, there's something else going on?
No, I think we can read anything into it. I will tell you what my opinion is. I think they're a good football team, no question about it.
And get him to be the next coach. And I'm thinking, well, Lincoln Riley may have the sights set on the NFL, but I just don't know why he would want to go there knowing that he's not going to be the guy in charge. It's going to be Jerry Jones, and that just seems like a bad move for me. But
yeah, I would agree on the surface. You just never know what attachment Lincoln Riley has to Dallas and what that would mean for him and his family. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
from a strictly football sense, he should be able to command a lot more power within an organization than what Jerry Jones would be willing to give up. Right. And the Sunday night game, the Indianapolis Colts, Coach, you nailed this one. The Colts beat the Chiefs 19-13. Patrick Mahomes was hobbled a bit as he got that ankle rolled up again. Hurt it initially in week 1, but it wasn't an issue. But the Chiefs dropped their first game of the season, 4-1, and the Colts, I mean, on paper, this was a terrible matchup for the Colts, especially in that defensive secondary. But so I overlooked something here. What did you see from the Colts and what they were able to do to slow down the Chiefs?
Everybody is a copycat in the National Football League. Every football team. They take bits and pieces. I know Frank Wright well enough to know that they studied very intently Kansas City and what other people were doing against Kansas City. I think they took part of the New England, part of the Detroit, did a lot of what Detroit did last week. Got up on their receivers, said, hey, we don't respect you like other people do. We're gonna bang you and stay with you. Yeah. And they did. and they put some pressure, which was a little out of the realm of possibility. That I thought, to put the pressure on them that they did. I didn't think they could do that. In fact, I didn't think it was possible for them to put that much pressure on. But when you head up those receivers, he comes back down to earth like every other quarterback, especially young quarterback. So anyway, that and my gosh, you combine that, Joe, with the running game that they put on. I mean, that running game was fantastic.
We talked about before the season, and I want to give you kudos for something else. You talked about Quentin Nelson, the lineman from Notre Dame. I believe I saw the stat. I didn't get to see much of the game yesterday, but I did see the end, and there was NBC named him as one of the 3 best players of the game, the 3 players of the game, and I believe I saw that on 30 pass blocks, or I forget exactly what the stat said, but basically no sacks allowed, or there was, he was 30 for 30 on successful pass blocks is what I saw. Yeah. And so you talk about just building the team from the right way, building it kind of inside out, and the Colts proved a lot of people wrong last night, and they improved to 3-2 on the season, and it just makes you wonder, what this team might be looking like if Andrew Luck was still
Absolutely,
still there.
You're right. And then the other thing is, they've got one of the, and you just pinpointed some of it, and they got one of the best offensive lines in football. I like them better than Dallas. I like them better than the Dallas front. These guys are sharp. I haven't seen yet where somebody just comes clean because of a mistake, because they didn't know who to pick up.
Yeah.
Now, if they got on the edge, sometimes, anybody's going to get on the edge sometime and get a little penetration, but not because they didn't know how to pick it up. And the Nelson, to be a young guy, is the best I've ever seen. And ever's a long time. I don't like to use that term. But I've never seen, I think he's one of the best, if not the best, offensive lineman in the National Football League. He's only in his 2nd year.
Yeah, hard to think about, but you're right. The Indianapolis Colts again improved to 3-2, 19-13 win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Monday Night Football tonight, the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Cleveland Browns. So will the 49ers be able to remain unbeaten? We'll discuss that and more in the landscape of college football coming back. It's Talk Football with Coach K, ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
Don't drop the ball this football season. Make Tom Thumb your game day destination. We are your first round pick for snacks, chips, dips, and drinks. Are you tailgating before the game? Don't get blindsided. Head to Tom Thumb for all your supplies. Score big savings with our rewards card. You'll earn 4 fuel points for every $1 spent in store. From hot dogs and buns to ice and propane, Tom Thumb has you covered to help you enjoy the game. For the ultimate game day, team up with Tom Thumb, the local store for local champions.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Hello, everybody. You're looking live at Fansville, a college football utopia.
Fansville.
Where the rivers flow with ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
Delicious.
Where every day is Saturday and everyone's a fan, even babies.
Fan babies.
And the seasons never change because the only season is college football season. Get a taste of Fansville this fall during a college football game near you. Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville. Grab some today.
It's happening. Wherever plays are being made, tickets are being sold, and fans are lining up. ADP is designing a better way to work. With industry-leading HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll, more companies rely on ADP than any other HR partner to help step up their game. From small business to global enterprise. See how ADP can help you and your people achieve what you're working for at design.adp.com. ADP, always designing for people.
You're listening to Pensacola's local and ESPN sports station. Your favorite ESPN radio shows, plus high school and UWF Argo football. ESPN Pensacola 1330.
Ohio State tied at 3, and then LSU, Oklahoma, and Florida are the top 7, and then Wisconsin, Notre Dame, and Penn State round out the top 10. And Coach, Ohio State getting a big win against Michigan State. Mark D'Antonio, for those of you not familiar with Mark D'Antonio, he is one of the better defensive minds in college football. And he had a game plan. If you didn't see the game, or if you did, you'll know what I'm talking about. He had a game plan where Michigan State had Ohio State pretty confused early on. First quarter was not good. They were getting a lot of pressure on Justin Fields there, and then in the second quarter, Ohio State really turned it on there, and they win going away there. But in watching, Coach, if you did see much of the Ohio State Michigan State game, did they check any more boxes for you, or did you see anything from Ohio State that confirmed in your mind that they were one of the best teams, or still a little too soon to say right now?
No, it's not too soon to say that Ohio State's one of the better teams in the country. I think they're right up there where they should be. It could be 1A, 1B, 1C. 1D right on through, but I like the way they're playing, Joe. It's a strong football game in every aspect of it.
And of course, Georgia wins going away 43-14. But to be honest with you, Coach, I didn't hate what I saw out of Tennessee. Brian Marr, a freshman, got the start. He completed 50% of his passes, a couple of touchdowns, and an interception. Tennessee had the lead at one point. It was 14-13, and then Georgia's talent, kind of took over at that point. But I thought Tennessee, for the clear gulf in talent that's between Georgia and Tennessee, I liked the energy that they brought. I liked the effort that they brought, and I saw some good things from Tennessee this weekend, despite what the score says.
I think you're right, and I think it's a good observation, especially when you consider all the trash that they had to go through first of the week with the press, the bad press, the coach being trashed, and one of the players, and so on. And even despite that, they came out and played inspired football against a much better football team. So give them credit there. An L is an L. I know what people say.
Right.
And a W is a W. I know that. But I think you can see a spark somewhere with these Tennessee. Now, keep in mind, last year, Tennessee was horrible early. Got better from mid-season on. They improved. Their football team improved considerably. let's look for the same type improvement this year. It becomes a pattern, and I think it will lead, if we see that, especially with the change to the young quarterback, Joe, which I think is a real plus for Tennessee. You could see the makings of a much better football team.
Ohio State is going to have 2 top 10 opponents here by the end of the month, as they have Wisconsin, who is coming in at number 8 currently. So Ohio State's on the bye this week, and then they'll take on Northwestern in a Friday night game. And you talk about surprises that are kind of a disappointment. I didn't really think that Northwestern in the Big Ten West was going to be 1-4 at this point, but on the opposite end of that, Minnesota, a team that's 5-0, P.J. Fleck. He's got a lot of charisma. He's got that row the boat thing going on out at Minnesota, but he has the Golden Gophers at 5-0. But we talk about Ohio State's schedule and if they're going to be tested like an Alabama, like a Georgia, Florida, LSU. Well, the answer I believe is yes, they are. I saw a tweet today that just looked at the remaining teams that are undefeated. If you put them in order of remaining strength of schedule, Ohio State's number 1 in terms of that. They have Wisconsin number 8, and then also Penn State, who's a top 10 team, followed by Michigan. So that's how they're going to end their season. So questions about will Ohio State have the similar strength of schedule like some of the top teams in the SEC? I think the answer is going to be a resounding yes. And I'm not entirely sure that Wisconsin's going to be the best test for them, because I think Penn State is surprised me a lot, and they have a lot of pieces as well.
I can't agree with you there, because I've never seen Penn State come to scratch in a big ball game. They tend to go the other way. I've seen it over and over and over. I don't know what it is, but since Joe Paterno was there, they have not played up to their opponent. They've played down to some of their opponents, but never up to. I love this Wisconsin team, but I don't think they have the big play ability to stay with them. But I like this football team. Boy, they saw wood, play in, play out, never take a play off. They're tough. They're very smart. I like a lot of things about them. Just don't think they have the big play ability to get there.
It's going to be a fun week as we continue to look forward to what should be a massive week in college football. 4 games featuring ranked teams, including 2 in the top 10. Actually 1, but 1 is number 6 versus number 11, so semantics there. But again, should be a great week. Final time out of the show, coming back to finish up on a Monday. Talk football with Coach K, ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
Dude, it's game day, and I'm fired up that football is back.
I know, but I'm bummed they don't show my favorite team on TV around here.
All right, well, what about that place Calvert's? They're a really cool English pub-style restaurant, and they have a really good drink menu.
Yeah, but what about the game?
Don't worry, they have the NFL Sunday ticket and plenty of TVs, so we can watch any game that we want.
Ooh, I just looked at the menu, and that Abbey Road burger is calling my name.
Calvert's in the Heights Restaurant and Bar, 3102 East Cervantes Street, calvertsintheheights.com.
There's only one place in town for the lowest prices and greatest selection of firearms. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Visit our fully stocked Gun Pro shop for new and used firearms, accessories, and ammunition. Check out the Indoor Shooting Range. We offer rentals on guns, including fully automatic machine guns and silencers. Ladies, this is the safe place to learn how to use a gun. Plus, Tuesday is Ladies' Day. Women shoot for half price all day. The best place to buy firearms in Pensacola. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Highway 29 in Car City.
If you have frequent heartburn, take control of it with Prilosec OTC instead of stashing antacids everywhere, like in your junk drawer, buried under old batteries and hotel pens, or in your purse, hiding in the one pocket you won't check. You even have antacids on your nightstand, which are very hard to see in the dark. It's time you stopped stashing antacids and started taking Prilosec OTC. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
It's possible with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days, not for immediate relief.
And now, smooth thoughts from Goodyear Auto Service.
As a technician, I love to see smooth rides drive by. Hey, man, because we offer lifetime balancing and rotation for every tire we sell. Looking smooth, Billy.
This has been Smooth Thoughts from Goodyear Auto Service. Now through October 13th, get up to $200 back by online or mail-in rebate on select sets of 4 Goodyear Eagle tires when you use your Goodyear credit card. To learn more, visit GoodyearAutoservice.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Talk football every day with Pensacola's own Coach K.
The key on offense is going to be whether Franks can come back and duplicate what he did in the last 4 games.
Every weekday, noon till 1 on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 FM 99.1. Welcome to ESPN Pensacola, 1330 FM 99.1. Pensacola's home.
We would think an interim coach for the rest of the year, and then the Redskins looking to hire somebody that they believe can develop Dwayne Haskins into a franchise quarterback there. Coach, what were your thoughts on Dwayne Haskins coming out of Ohio State?
Outstanding, Pat.
That's a question I have because I haven't figured out which one he is. But what is worse, an owner of a team that cares and is just not very good at what he does, or an NFL owner that doesn't care, but and that's just he just doesn't care. It's his. He owns the team, and he just doesn't care that it is bad. I don't know which one Daniel Snyder fits into. I mean, I think he cares. He maybe cares too much. I mean, he's the owner, so he can do what he wants, but I don't know which is worse to be in. Because, I mean, there are teams where you have an owner that they don't care about the on-field product. They're there for the money. They're there for the investment that they're making in the team. Yeah. I feel bad for Redskins fans because it just seems like there's just a revolving door no matter who's in it.
Well, I know what you mean, and it's going to continue to be that way, I'm afraid.
Thanks for joining us here on a Monday, Coach. Glad to be back with you here after the weekend. We'll do it again tomorrow, same time, noon to 1. Roll Tide Radio is next. ESPN Pensacola, 1330, 99.1 FM.
And ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM is where the action is. Bringing your high school football every Friday night. UWF football on